Okay.
Okay, gentlemen, welcome to the office of Honorable Gray, and Honorable Gray, welcome to the press. One of your colleagues have just had a press conference, and he's calling on all lawmakers to resist the arrest of Honorable Yakela Koluba. Do you agree with the call?
Let me first begin by saying that I want to say thank you to the team of reporters assigned to the Capitol building. Let me say thank you for seeking my attention on some critical issues of national concern, especially the recent situation unfolding in our country. Let me begin by stating that I haven't returned on both national duty and subsequent family engagement. I want to appreciate the Almighty God for sparing my life to see this day. And let me say that in the legislature we agreed on some issues and we also disagreed on some issues. Our agreements and disagreements on issues are issues that must not undermine the survivability of the state. For any of our colleagues, and directly like you spoke about Representative Koga, to even say there should be a resistance, it means that he shouldn't even be a lawmaker. Let me be emphatic. Let me repeat. To say that the House of Representatives must resist a quote-unquote arrest or alleged arrest of one of our colleagues under the basis of the doctrine of the law, it's unfortunate that lawmaker will have to go and read Article 42 of the Liberian Constitution emphatically. And the contradiction also is that Representative Koga was the first representative on the House of Representatives who wrote a communication for the body to chastise Honorable Yeke Koluba. And many of us, because it was his first offense on the legislative floor, some of us, to your dismay, you may not believe it, but to your dismay, that some of us said that he's a new lawmaker coming, and gradually he will graduate from that state of comments, reckless comments coming from him. So some of us spoke to Honorable Koga that we think we need to abort any punitive measure against a new colleague just coming who should gradually learn the legislative jargon and the rules governing the legislature. And for the executive, let me repeat, because it would be a dangerous precedent for members of the legislature to gather and say they will resist, even on the legislative floor to say we will resist an arrest. It's like saying to the executive branch of government that when a minister of government or a director or an official of government is being called by the legislature, the executive branch of government should say that we will resist because a lawmaker is being, a member of the cabinet or an official in the executive is being called. So the president and the rest of his workforce could say, let us resist it. It would be a dangerous precedent, which the legislature cannot do. There's some of us who are veterans of the legislature and understanding the separation of power. We cannot dwell into that. That's one cardinal mistake that our colleague was making, and it will never surface on the legislative floor. And let me reference him quick that one of his own in Nema County, Prince Toba, was picked up by state security forces in Nema County with all a communication to the legislative branch of government or the House of Representatives. And Honorable Koga was one of those who said that the executive has the right to arrest or to pick up a lawmaker. And what is the right? That right for the executive is guaranteed under Article 42 of the Liberian Constitution. Article 42 is saying that when you are coming to session, going out of session, you cannot be arrested. It also says that you cannot be arrested for your vote or your opinion that has been expressed also on the legislative floor. However, there's a caveat in Article 42 of the Liberian Constitution that says that a legislator, whether a senator or representative, can be arrested for treason, you can be arrested for felony, you can be arrested for breach of the peace. So it's for you journalists, it's for the public to define what is breach of the peace. It's for you to determine what is felonious. It's for you to determine what is treasonable, spelled out in the laws of the Republic of Liberia. So take for example, if the police invited a lawmaker or the Ministry of Justice invited a lawmaker, the lawmaker will have to appear. That is not a charge against the lawmaker because it's an invitation. Obviously, Onoyeka Koluba was invited. That is a legal procedure we all ended out. So if a colleague of ours resists the invitation that you cannot appear, and subsequently a writ is served, that writ that is served on you are under moral obligation with all the consent, let me repeat, with all the consent of the legislature, you have to appear before the court. That is no if and and. So, I gave precedent cases. Councilor Vani Sherman, Speaker Nukwe, I mean Speaker Ellis Talon. At no point in time the executive branch of government wrote the legislature to invite Speaker Ellis, former Speaker Ellis Talon. At no point in time. A certain Speaker of the Republic of Liberia, a writ was served, and it was taken to court, and Onokoga supported that. And it's predicated upon the writ that was served.
Because
Let me just finish. You asked the question. It was predicated upon the writ that was served on Speaker Ellis Talon, former Speaker Ellis Talon, that Onokoga was the first lawmaker who called, and I remember on ERBC, the first lawmaker who asked for Speaker Talon's resignation or removal from office was Onokoga, on the basis of a writ that was issued, an indictment that was served, and the legislature was not rating. That's the first thing. We got to start contradicting ourselves. A certain Deputy Speaker Topa Moba was also arrested by the police with all a writ by 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning. State security forces engulfed his home. Subsequently, Topa Moba was taken subsequently, and he was taken to court. On the ruling count, for example, I was arrested in this country with all the national legislature being written. Now, for the executive to serve its communication to the legislature for one of their colleagues, it's just a matter of courtesy. Let me repeat. There's no legal binding. It's a matter of courtesy. Maybe it could be a matter under the political doctrine or coordination and respect for each other. Just a matter of courtesy. So the question here is that the speaker, for all indication, the communication that was served to Onoyeka Koluba, the letter of invitation, there's a CC copy. I've seen the copy of that letter. There's a CC copy to the speaker and to the pro tem. As a matter of courtesy, the pro tem and the speaker or the House of Senate and the House of Representatives, we have no authority to submit our code. It's just a matter of courtesy, and I wanted to make this emphatically clear. And let me come on the issue of Onoyeka Koluba. No man is above the law. I want to be emphatic, I want to be on record. The statements made that I listened to, the live statement when he went and joined, the first thing, he was not on his legislative function. That the first one must be able to understand. He was not on his legislative function, he was on the political party function of collaborating political parties to join the political institution. We got to dichotomize between what our legislative function and what are our political functions outside of the legislature. Because if we begin to entangle our personal function to that of our legislative function,
that brought you to the legislature.
excuse me, if we begin to entangle that, at the end of the day, lawmakers will harm you or go unpunished and say they own a legislative function. The breach of the peace, for example, the federal crimes, for example, the treasonable offenses, for example, your utterance can become a treasonable offense. I was arrested in this country because they claimed that I made a statement that could undermine the national security of the country. I was arrested for that. Okay, we got to understand that. So the people who are arguing today, that's the irony. We call that an irony of situation. The people who are arguing today are saying that, look, it's wrong to arrest a certain lawmaker. But yesteryears are the same people who led the process, who supported the process for the arrest of lawmakers. Some of them are the same people who supported the House of Representatives for calling in government officials. So take for example, there's a statement by ex-combatants that I must condemn emphatically, that this government has no interest in inciting the public or ex-combatants. We have no interest in that. What happens amongst former combatants, because Mr. Yaga Korba is under the Veteran Bureau, like the former AFL, like all ex-combatants, they are under what we call quote-unquote a Veteran Bureau. What happens amongst them? Because Yaga Korba is also an ex-combatant. So the debate among ex-combatants, my understanding is that Yaga Korba accused one group of ex-combatants, and that same group of ex-combatants level an accusation against them and told him to report to them. It's not the function of the government. And the government, I want to assure you that this government of brought to power will not tolerate any act by any ex-combatant in the Republic of Liberia, ex-soldiers. Will not condone that. It's not the modus operandi of the government of the Republic of Liberia. So they must go to settle that dispute. We are emphatic, I am very emphatic, that one of the greatest dilemmas of any government, the oldest, is the maintenance of law and order. If this government cannot maintain law and order, then it means that we'll be running a chaotic society. So nobody is above the law. People were arguing here, say, when you impeach and associate justice, the country will break into chaos. People are comparing an arrest, quote unquote, alleged arrest, or to be arrest or raped, to be served on a Yaka Kolba. People are arguing that it's tantamount to April 6. Are you saying people have arms around here? Is that what the people are saying? It's tantamount to September 18, that people got killed. Are you saying people have arms around here? So those people, I'll just ask all the questions. So those people who are propounding such arguments, I can tell you, they don't want peace in the country. So there are a group of, I'll just conclude on this one. There are a group of guys who came out of power democratically. They then prepared their political exit strategy. They remain disgruntled. They feel that power belongs to a few group of people. So they will do every and anything to undermine the legitimacy of the government. In 1929, that happened to Charles D.B. King. It happened to Samuel Doe, it happened to Charles Taylor. If they are not in power, then the country cannot move forward. If they are in power, or they are czars and czarinas, the political czars or czarinas, once they are in power, then it means the country is good, the country is stable. 12 solid years, some of the people arguing for save the state, for example, 12 years, they govern the country. They left the country intact and in ruin. I have seen people who are contradicting themselves that they must save the state. 12 years, you could not save the state. We just came to power 1.5 years. And you say you want to save, how can you save the state when the Liberian people have uninterrupted 12 years was provided to you? These are the people. These are the true troublemakers. They say, oh, the prevailing situation, investors may not come. If you say investors may not come, you are creating the scene. The government is under moral obligation to protect the 38,000 square miles of the country. And the justice minister will have to step to his game. The director of police will have to step to his game. We must maintain sanity in the Republic of Liberia. And as one of the progenitors of the movement, that is the Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change, and a sine qua non member of the government of the Republic of Liberia, I can say to you that this government will condone free speech, will not arrest people because you criticize us, but if your statement undermines the peace and stability of the country, and it's a calculated attempt to plunge this country into chaos, or undermine the legitimacy of our government, the government is under obligation by the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia and all other laws to uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, and will provide hope to our people. That's what we do.
So you can agree. Let me just say
support of the arrest of Mr. Kolba, your colleague.
In support, 100%. Let me repeat. That Mr. Yeke Kolba's statement has been reckless. He has threatened the peace and security of the Republic of Liberia. Those who are celebrating him are people who want to undermine the peace and security. So I believe Now, Yeke Koluba will have to be invited if he has not appeared yet, and if there's a writ set, I believe that it must go for him if he rejects that. He's not above the law. We also went through the same process, and he must go through the same process in terms of respect for the rule of law.
Yeah, you are talking about respect for the rule of law, and you want Yeke Koluba to appear. The House of Representatives that you are part of is on record of violating the same rule of law by refusing to appear before the Supreme Court. If the entire House can refuse, why would you want to force the
Let me say this to you. For the fact that the House wrote the Supreme Court, under the laws of the Republic of Liberia, means that the House has surrendered herself to the court. And put herself on the, excuse me,
Supreme Court, you said you will not appear before
excuse me, yes, but for the fact that they wrote that communication, they put the House under that jurisdiction, and subsequently there were representation on behalf of the House that you called. So the House subordinated herself to the court. I want you to know that the records, the lawyers from the House who went there and defended the case of the House. The legislature floor is a political theater. So there will be one group of people who say don't go, and another group of people say go, but at the end of the day, there are records to show that the House submitted herself.
Great. I listened to you when you lay precedence when it comes to arrest of lawmakers, when it comes to inviting lawmakers by the judiciary. And in some of your precedents, you named former Representative Topa Mora, where he was arrested. And so some of your critics are saying just what some of you did when you were in opposition is what has been done that is very hard for you to accept right now. Your oppositions are criticizing, your opponents are criticizing you. They are calling for protests. You call for protests. You spoke on national issues that people didn't accept at the time the way, I mean, you're not accepting it. But now, right now, it's in your shoe and you are calling them, I mean, quote unquote, enemy of the state.
No, I have not called an enemy of the state. Let me say this to you, and let me be emphatic. I'm on record for supporting peaceful protest action in the Republic of Liberia. There's no contradiction at no point in time. And I want to repeat, whenever the CDC chose to protest, I'll give you an example. November 7th, state security forces shot and brought the protest to a halt. People were killed in the process. 2011. 2005 again. The very Yeke Koluba, when he was in the police in 2005 during the interim arrangement, when President Sadi got elected, they led troop on the CDC party headquarters in 2005, and they shot dead again. They brought down the protest ruthlessly. Mr. Mobake Molu, wherever he announced, even during War Crimes Day, he was arrested over 8 different times. That's not the scene. This government provided free opportunities. With this the first time in the governance process since President Sadi came to power, but then that no protest action in this Monrovia has been halted by the police, or they have been tear gas. In fact, the police have escorted them to where they want to go. The records are there clear. So what they did to us yesteryears is not what we are doing to them today. We're not afraid of protest. They don't have the number, they don't have the calorie. But the only thing here is that if your protest action will lead to chaos, then the leadership of the protest will take full responsibility for such chaotic action under the Constitutional Republic of Liberia. That's very clear. So let me repeat.
Don't you think your counter protest?
At no point in time, let me repeat. At no point in time.
Your counter protest may lead to that.
That's why I come in. Let me repeat. The CDC as a party and the CDC-led government has never made it an official position statement that there will be a counter protest. And let me use this occasion as political officer, vice chair for administration of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change. I want to say to you that we have planned no counter-protest action. We have no intention of a counter-protest action. So if you listen to gossipers on the street, it's not the official position of the mighty Congress for Democratic Change, nor the position of the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. Those are mere gossip. Because what I'm understanding is that the protesters are now on the intellectual run. They don't have the numbers to pull out the crowd, so they are using what I call political chicaneries to cut off their own protests.
Honorable, may I just ask you a question? You keep emphasizing on breach of the peace in your premise you laid. But I'd like to know, particularly in this case of your colleague Yeke Koluba, what statement of his do you consider tantamount to become a breach of the peace?
No, I'm saying, I said that three cardinal reasons under Article 42 that a lawmaker could get arrested for: treasonable offense, felony, or breach of the peace. He could be caught in any one of the categories. It would be the justice system to make that determination. So I just try to refute the perception running around by what I call illiterates.
Just a follow-up. Do you believe
that a lawmaker cannot get arrested?
Just a follow-up.
No, I just want, the last time in Minnesota,
Yeah.
almost 8 lawmakers were being arrested by the police for joining people to protest and stand on the street for immigrants' rights. So you should know that. So nobody is above the law.
So just a follow-up, my question to you then is, do you believe that indeed he has committed one of those counts you just raised?
I'm holistically convinced
Yeah.
that to say, give me 3 months and I will get the president off, that's a treasonable offense. I'm convinced about that. For you to say, give me 3 months, I'm just waiting for your order. The Weir administration will end in 3 months. That's a treasonable offense for me. That will be a breach of the peace.
I will get.
And you journalists must condemn that, because the stability of the country is very important. In as much as you will condemn people from the governing arrangement of the country, you must also condemn other people who make such a statement.
So
you must do that. And political party leaders, in fact, political party leaders must disassociate themselves. And I want to reference one thing. When few elements within the CDC were involved with civil society organization on the early step down campaign, when the current president and then standard bearer of the Mighty Congress of Democratic Change, not the coalition, when he came to the country, he instructed all citizens that were involved in the early step down campaign to desist and provide a space for the government to continue and end what tenure, and we were convinced that they would have been defeated. That's what the current president did. So it's an open challenge to the political leaders in the opposition community to rise up to the occasion and disassociate themselves from people who make statements that are treasonable, felonious statement, breach of the peace statement. They must disassociate themselves, and the political institution must disentangle themselves from such statements.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the difference between your statement in the past of giving the former president Sevier back data like Liberia to the current statement of Yeke Koluba that you are so claiming of breach of the peace?
Let me say this to you. There are big indifferences. One, during the period of campaign, there was statements coming from all sides who were campaigning. There was a magazine by the ruling Unity Party declaring some of us as enemy of the state, that we wanted to overthrow the government. They had everything to say. My statement, I want for you to listen in the conclusive statement. I said, we will not revert to Butu and company. But if she want to better Liberia, we can do it. And how did I do that? I stood in the legislature and disagreed on critical issues from a resounding, vibrating voice. That's what we did. We halted issues in the legislature that undermine our constitution, that undermine the supreme interest of the Liberian people. That's what we did. So I didn't just say we'll give President Sedi or bid on Liberia. I didn't just say that. I said we'll not revert to Butu and company. And those who reverted to Butu and company, they had ammunition. They plunged the country into chaos. And I was telling President Sedi clearly that what you people did from Butu and company, we will not do that. We will not revert to such. And subsequently, interestingly, we got arrested. And were charged, I mean. So at the end of the day, the very people who are clapping for President Sedi to have arrested Representative Gray, and the people who are clapping against an arrest of Yeke Koluba. How do you see them? These are the people who call themselves Messiah. These are the people who call themselves the John the Baptist, the Ben Baptist. They are new. These are the people. My last
wait. I'm asking this question. Wait for me. What's your problem? Okay, this is the issue that we want.
You see the disagreement in the media, and I love that disagreement.
You say you want to support the arrest of Yeke Koluba, because this is treasonable. Why would you want to treat him on 2 occasions on the same crime 2 times? The executive is going to prosecute him, like you said. And your team is also leading a campaign for a suspension or expulsion from the house. Why would you want to punish him?
Let me say this to you. I know Honorable Farah has said that